In 1953, a team of chemists in San Diego tried 39 times to create a water displacement formula for the aerospace industry. Attempt number 40 finally worked. That is literally what WD stands for. Water displacement, 41st attempt. They never changed the name. And they never improved the formula because they did not need to. That little blue and yellow can, sitting under your kitchen sink right now, contains the exact same liquid that protected Atlas missile nose cones during the Cold War. But here is what nobody tells you. Fewer than 1 in 10 people use it for more than squeaky hinges. Number 14 on this list will save you calling out a locksmith. Number 7 replaced a £90 repair quote from a bloke on Checkatrade. And number 3 is something British plumbers have known for decades but will never admit to because it would cost them work. These 25 hacks are so effective that if you knew even half of them, you would stop panic buying products from the cleaning aisle at B&Q. Ron Seal, Sillet Bang, and half the bottles under your sink do jobs that one £4 can already handles. Before we start, hit that subscribe button, because what you are about to learn will genuinely change how you maintain your home. Let us count down the 25 smartest WD-40 hacks British homeowners swear by. Number 25. Removing crayon from painted walls. If you have got children, you have got crayon on your magnolia walls. That is not a question. It is a fact of British parenting. Most people reach for a magic eraser or start scrubbing with fairy liquid and a sponge, which takes the crayon off but also strips the paint, leaving a shiny patch that looks worse than the artwork. Spray a small amount of WD-40 directly onto the crayon marks. Leave it for 30 seconds. Then wipe with a clean cloth in one direction. The crayon lifts straight off without touching the paint underneath. The solvents in WD-40 dissolve the wax binder in crayons, but are gentle enough on standard emulsion. Test a hidden spot first if your walls are freshly painted, but on anything cured for more than a week, it works perfectly. No repainting, no arguments about who gave the 3-year-old a red crayon near the living room wall. Number 24. Freeing a stiff tap. That cold tap in your bathroom that has not turned smoothly since 2019. You have been meaning to call a plumber, but it still works if you force it, so you just live with it. Spray WD-40 around the base of the tap where the spindle meets the body. Give it 5 minutes to creep into the mechanism. Then work the tap back and forth. 9 times out of 10, the problem is mineral buildup from hard water, and the WD-40 dissolves the calcium deposits that have been slowly seizing the valve. In areas like Kent, Essex, and most of the southeast where the water is rock hard, this hack alone saves hundreds of households a call-out fee every year. A plumber will charge you £60 just to walk through your front door. WD-40 costs less than a meal deal. Number 23. Cleaning stainless steel appliances. Every kitchen in Britain has a stainless steel kettle, toaster, or fridge covered in fingerprints that no amount of Dettol surface spray can shift. Spray a fine mist of WD-40 onto a microfiber cloth, not directly onto the appliance, and wipe in the direction of the grain. The fingerprints vanish, the surface gleams, and the thin residual film actually repels new fingerprints for days. This is the same principle used in commercial kitchens where chefs wipe down prep surfaces between services. Your Smeg fridge will look like it did the day Currys delivered it. 1 cloth, 1 spray. 30 seconds. Number 22. Unsticking a jammed zip. Winter coats, sleeping bags, tent flaps, that hold all you take to Center Parks every October. Zips jam. It is what they do. Spray a tiny amount of WD-40 onto a cotton bud and run it along both sides of the zip teeth. Work the slider gently back and forth. The lubricant coats the metal teeth and dissolves whatever grime or oxidation was causing the jam. This works on metal zips, plastic zips, and those chunky waterproof zips on outdoor gear. Before you bin a perfectly good jacket because the zip has gone, try this. 30 seconds and it will glide like new. Number 21. Removing price stickers and label residue. Every time you buy something from Wilko, TK Maxx, or any charity shop on the high street, you are left with that infuriating sticky residue after peeling off the price label. Scratching at it with your fingernail just rolls it into grey worms. Spray WD-40 directly onto the residue. Wait 60 seconds. Wipe with a cloth. Gone. Completely gone. The petroleum-based solvents break down the adhesive without damaging plastic, glass, metal, or ceramic surfaces. This works on jars you want to reuse, picture frames, kitchen storage containers, anything. Your grandmother used to soak labels in hot water for 20 minutes. This takes one. Number 20. Protecting garden tools from rust. Every autumn, British gardeners lean their forks, spades, and secateurs against the shed wall, forget about them until March, and then find them orange with rust. After cleaning your tools at the end of the season, spray a light coat of WD-40 over all the metal surfaces. The formula creates a thin, protective barrier that displaces moisture and prevents oxidation through the entire winter. A decent set of Spear & Jackson garden tools costs £80 or more. Protecting them costs a few pence worth of spray and 2 minutes of effort. Your granddad knew this. He kept his tools oiled and hanging on hooks in the shed, and they lasted 40 years. Modern allotment holders are learning it all over again. Number 19. Silencing squeaky door hinges. The obvious one. The one everyone already knows. But most people do it wrong. They blast the hinge with WD-40, watch it drip down the door frame, stain the carpet, and then the squeak comes back in a fortnight because they did not address the actual friction point. Here is the proper method. Open the door halfway. Spray into the top of each hinge pin, aiming for the gap between the pin and the barrel. Open and close the door 5 or 6 times to work the lubricant through. Wipe away the excess. That squeak is gone for months, not weeks. The trick is getting the product inside the hinge mechanism, not just coating the outside. Every landlord in Britain should know this. Most do not. Number 18. Removing scuff marks from hard floors. Those black rubber scuff marks on your kitchen lino or hallway tiles from shoes, chair legs, or the wheels on the Hoover. Spray a small amount of WD-40 onto a cloth and rub directly over the scuff. The mark dissolves in seconds. No scrubbing, no specialist floor cleaner, no getting down on your hands and knees with a Brillo pad. This works on vinyl, laminate, ceramic tile, and linoleum. Avoid using it on untreated hardwood as the solvents can affect the finish, but on any sealed surface, it is faster and cheaper than anything you will find in the Lakeland catalogue. First, pattern break. The bathroom secret. Here is where things get interesting. That limescale ring around the base of your bathroom taps, the one you have attacked with Viacal, white vinegar, lemon juice, and a toothbrush, and it still will not shift. Spray WD-40 around the base. Leave it for 5 minutes. Then scrub with an old toothbrush. The WD-40 penetrates under the mineral deposits and breaks the bond between the limescale and the chrome. The ring lifts away in flakes. This is not a replacement for a full limescale treatment on glass shower screens, but for those stubborn deposits around tap bases, plug holes, and overflow covers, it works better than dedicated limescale removers costing 3 times the price. Plumbers in hard water areas have used this trick quietly for years. They just never mention it because descaling taps pays their mortgage. Number 16. Removing old masking tape. You painted the spare room 2 years ago. The masking tape is still along the coving because it bonded to the surface and now tears when you try to peel it. Spray WD-40 along the edge of the tape. Wait 3 to 4 minutes. The solvent soaks through the backing and softens the adhesive beneath. Peel slowly at a 45-degree angle. The tape comes away in one clean strip without pulling paint or plaster with it. Decorators use this trick on jobs where tape has been left too long. Heat guns work too, but WD-40 is gentler on delicate plasterwork and painted surfaces. 1 can saves you retouching the entire room. Number 15. Loosening rusted bolts and screws. Every DIY project in Britain eventually involves a rusted bolt that will not budge. Flat pack furniture left in the shed, garden gate hinges, radiator bleed valves that have not been opened since the boiler was installed. Spray WD-40 onto the rusted fastener. Wait 10 minutes. The penetrating oil seeps into the microscopic gaps between the bolt threads and the rust. breaking the corrosion bond. Then use your spanner or screwdriver. The bolt will turn. Without WD-40, you are rounding off bolt heads, snapping screw shafts, and driving to Screwfix for replacements. With it, you are fixing the original fitting in the time it would take to find your car keys. Number 14. Freeing a sticky door lock. Your front door key has been getting harder to turn for months. You have been jiggling it, lifting the handle, leaning against the door with your shoulder while twisting. One day it is going to refuse entirely, and you will be standing in the rain at 10:30 on a Tuesday calling a locksmith who charges £120 for an emergency call-out. Spray WD-40 directly into the keyhole. Insert the key and work it in and out several times, turning as you go. The lubricant clears dust, moisture, and micro-corrosion from the pin tumblers inside the cylinder. The key will turn smoothly again. Locksmiths recommend graphite powder for long-term lock maintenance, and that is fair. But for an immediate fix when your lock is seizing up, WD-40 buys you months before you need to think about replacing the barrel. Prevention costs 30 seconds. The emergency call-out costs your Saturday and a small fortune. Number 13. Waterproofing shoes in a pinch. This is not a replacement for proper dub-in or waterproofing spray on hiking boots, but for a quick fix before the school run when it is hammering down outside and your trainers are the only clean pair left. Spray a light coat of WD-40 over the fabric or leather uppers. The water displacement formula does exactly what it was designed to do. It repels water. Your feet stay dry for the walk to school and back. It wears off after a few hours, so this is strictly an emergency measure. But when the alternative is wet socks or being late, it works. Parents across Britain have quietly used this trick for years without telling anyone, because it sounds ridiculous until you try it. Number 12. Removing tea stains from worktops. The Great British Tea Stain. That brown ring on your white laminate worktop where the mug sits every morning. Bleach fades it. Cif reduces it. But WD-40 removes it completely. Spray a small amount onto the stain, wait 2 minutes, wipe with a damp cloth. The solvents break down the tannin compounds that bond to laminate surfaces. For stubborn stains that have been building for months, a second application with a gentle scrub finishes the job. This works on laminate, formica, and sealed granite. It also works on tea-stained mugs, though a good soak in bicarbonate of soda handles those just as well. Second pattern break. The garage door confession. Now here is where your neighbors start asking questions. Up and over garage doors, the metal ones fitted on every other house in every estate built between 1970 and 1995, develop a grinding screech that announces your arrival home to the entire street. The springs, tracks, and roller mechanisms corrode in the damp British climate and seize up gradually until opening the door feels like a workout. Spray WD-40 along both side tracks, on the spring mechanism, and on every roller and pivot point. Open and close the door 3 times to distribute the lubricant. The grinding stops. The door glides. Your neighbors stop flinching every time you come home from Tesco at 9 in the evening. Garage door servicing companies charge £75 to £150 for this exact procedure. They use a slightly heavier lubricant for permanent installations, but for annual maintenance, WD-40 keeps everything moving smoothly. One spray in October before the wet season starts. That is all it takes. Number 10. Removing water spots from glass. Hard water leaves white mineral spots on glass shower screens, windows, and car windscreens that no amount of Windoline seems to shift permanently. Spray WD-40 onto the glass. Buff with a clean microfiber cloth. The spots dissolve and the glass comes up crystal clear. The thin residue also means new water spots take longer to form, keeping shower screens cleaner between deep cleans. This is particularly effective for that glass panel on your shower cubicle that gets a fresh coating of limescale spots every single day, despite your best efforts. Number 9. Preventing snow from sticking to satellite dishes. Every winter, somewhere in Britain, someone misses the Strictly final because snow has built up on their sky dish and killed the signal. Before the first frost, spray WD-40 across the face of the dish. The slippery film prevents snow and ice from bonding to the surface. It slides off before it can build up. Engineers who install dishes in Scotland and Northern England have done this on every job for years. A 30-second spray in November means uninterrupted signal all winter. No climbing ladders in the snow, no calling Sky and sitting in a phone queue for 40 minutes. No missing the football. Number 8. Unsticking Lego from carpet. If you have ever stepped on a Lego brick at 2 in the morning, you know pain that transcends language. But the real problem is when Lego gets trodden into carpet pile and wedged so deep that pulling it out takes the carpet fibers with it. Spray a tiny amount of WD-40 around the base of the stuck brick. The lubricant loosens the grip between the plastic and the carpet fibers. Wiggle gently and lift. The brick comes free without leaving a bald patch. Wipe the carpet with a damp soapy cloth afterward to remove any residue. This also works for small toys, beads, drawing pins, and anything else that gets pressed into carpet by the weight of daily life. Number 7. Fixing a squeaky bed frame. Every couple in Britain knows this problem. The bed frame that creaks and groans every time someone turns over. You have tightened every bolt. You have wedged cardboard between the slats and the frame. Nothing works. The squeak comes from metal on metal contact at the joints, and WD-40 is the precise solution. Disassemble the joints one at a time. Spray WD-40 on the bolt, the washer, and the inside of the bracket where metal meets metal. Reassemble and tighten firmly. The squeak is gone. A new bed frame costs £300 or more. A replacement set of fixings from the manufacturer takes 6 weeks to arrive if they even stock them. WD-40 fixes it in 20 minutes and costs nothing. One viewer told me their bed had squeaked for 3 years before they tried this. 3 years. Fixed in the time it takes to boil a kettle. Number 6. Cleaning and protecting stainless steel sinks. After washing up, spray a fine mist of WD-40 into your stainless steel sink. Buff with a dry cloth following the grain of the metal. The sink gleams like it has just been fitted, water spots vanish, and the protective film means the next round of washing up rinses away cleaner. Commercial stainless steel polish costs £6 to £8 a bottle and does exactly this. WD-40 costs less and you already own it. Kitchen fitters use this as the finishing touch after installing a new sink. It is the reason the sink looks so stunning on handover day and slightly less stunning by Thursday. Number 5. Removing chewing gum from anything. Gum on the bottom of a shoe. Gum on a school jumper. Gum ground into the back seat of the car. Spray WD-40 directly onto the gum. Wait 2 minutes. The solvents break down the polymers in the gum base, turning it from a stubborn, elastic nightmare into something you can peel or wipe away without residue. This works on fabric, leather, vinyl, rubber shoe soles, and hard surfaces. For clothing, spray sparingly and wash the garment immediately afterward to remove any oily residue. Primary school parents should keep a can in the car permanently. You will use it more often than you think. Third pattern break, the plumber's secret. This is the one tradesmen will deny knowing. When a compression fitting on a copper pipe weeps slightly, not enough to cause damage, but enough to leave a green stain on the pipe and a damp patch on the ceiling below. The textbook fix is to drain the system, undo the fitting, clean the olive, rewrap with PTFE tape, and retighten. Or you can spray WD-40 around the fitting, tighten it a quarter turn, and the weep stops. The WD-40 displaces the moisture that is allowing the slow seep, and the slight extra tightening compresses the olive properly. This is not a permanent fix for a badly made joint. But for that fitting that has wept since the plumber left and you cannot face paying him to come back, it works. And it holds. Plumbers know this. They just cannot bill you £180 for something that takes 10 seconds. Number 3. Preventing wasps from nesting. In early spring, before the queen wasps start building, spray WD-40 under the eaves of your house, around window frames, and inside the peak of your shed or garage. Wasps dislike the smell and the oily surface and will choose somewhere else to build. This does not work once a nest is established, but as a preventative measure in March and April, it is remarkably effective. Pest control call-outs for wasp nests cost between £50 and £100 every summer. A quick spray around known nesting spots each spring costs pennies and saves you the terrifying experience of discovering a nest the size of a football behind your fascia board in August. Number 2. Restoring faded plastic trim. The black plastic trim on your car, the bumper strips, wing mirror housings, window surrounds and door handles all fade to a chalky grey after a few British winters. Professional trim restorer from Halfords costs £12 a bottle and lasts about a month before it fades again. Spray WD-40 onto a cloth and wipe over the faded plastic. It turns jet black instantly. The oils penetrate the surface and restore the original appearance. It lasts a few weeks before needing reapplication, about the same as the expensive product, at a fraction of the cost. Car detailers use dedicated trim coatings for long-term results, and if you want a permanent fix, those are worth the investment. But for a quick refresh before the MOT or a weekend trip, WD-40 makes a 10-year-old car look 5 years younger in minutes. Number 1. Displacing moisture from electrics. This is the original purpose. The reason WD-40 exists. And it is still the most useful trick in the entire can. When your car will not start on a damp Monday morning because moisture has crept into the ignition system overnight. When the outdoor security light flickers after heavy rain. When the lawnmower refuses to fire up in spring because it has sat in a damp shed since October. Spray WD-40 onto spark plug connections, distributor caps, fuse boxes, and any exposed electrical connection that has been affected by moisture. The water displacement formula pushes moisture out of the contact points and leaves a protective film that prevents it from returning. Mechanics have used this as a first response for non-starting engines since the 1960s. Before you call the AA, before you ring your local garage, before you assume the battery is dead, try WD-40 on the electrical connections. It fixes the problem more often than you would believe. That is what the can was made for. Everything else on this list is a bonus. Here is my challenge. Next time something in your home sticks, squeaks, rusts, or refuses to cooperate, reach for that blue and yellow can before you reach for your phone. Try the lock hack. Try the limescale trick. Try the bed frame fix. Then come back and tell me which one saved you the most money. I want to know if the garage door hack gets more love than the plumber's secret. Share your best WD-40 story in the comments because I guarantee half of you have been sitting on a trick that deserves to be on this list. That one can under your sink is the most underrated tool in your house. Now you know why.